Hi, my name is Festus or DJ Rewili, and guess what? I'm glad doing this, and I'm sure you've been having fun with us on the CEO Masterclass. If you have not subscribed, then you're not doing yourself a favor. I'm sure that you've heard by now that CEO Masterclass is one of the most watched YouTube channels, and people are giving us reports and telling us how far we're doing and how much we've impacted and affected their businesses, and I'm glad. Please keep the comments coming, keep sharing, keep subscribing, and share the good news around. Today I will be talking on something that I call taking very tough decisions. Taking very tough decisions. As a CEO or a business owner, there are certain times in your business life that you have to take very tough decisions. When I mean tough decisions, I mean very tough. For instance, when a sitting judge who is known to be very ethical, to be disciplined, is having to take judgment on his son, for instance, who committed murder and armed robbery. And of course, what has been prescribed is death sentence, and the man has to pronounce death sentence on his own son. Now imagine if he has to cushion that judgment by committing it to life imprisonment, maybe just to please his wife or his family members, or worst case scenario, make it a 2 or 3 year sentence. Now, if that is an extreme case that you think it can happen, it happens in businesses too. And I have seen scenarios where the chairman of a company has a very big problem in his hand. His successor, call it his son or relative or someone that is going to take over him, commits a crime that is really bad. And it's a senior management staff, and everybody in the company knows that this man is the son of the MD, or is close to the chairman, or he is the next successor in plan, and yet he has committed such a terrible crime. Now, if you are chairman or the MD CEO of the company, the question is, what should you do? Now, if you are strict as that judge, or you are someone who is known to be very ethical and disciplined and a straightforward human being that people believe in, the first thing probably is to check if the organization has the code of conduct and what has been prescribed in the constitution. I call it the constitution of the company. Now, peradventure, it is not in the constitution of the company. Things can happen. Then constitute a disciplinary committee of senior management staff and let them look at that situation, that case. Let them review it. And they have to be very objective, because they know you are the owner of the business. And people have done things that is contrary to the ethics and code of conduct of the company. So they must come up to you objectively with a resolution. Now, assuming that the people have a face to it, and they think that suspension is the best recommendation, fine. If they come up with that, stick by that decision that the committee or the disciplinary committee has come up with. Ensure that that guy or the man who has committed that offense goes for suspension. Maybe it's a 3 months, 4 months, 5 or 6 months suspension. Let him resume. If he resumes, the next thing for him is not to go back to job and start behaving as if he's a vulture. No. The first thing to do is, when he resumes, let him begin a French leave. Let him be coming to the office. Let him be observing. Let him be seeing what's going on. But he will not be able to take a decision because he is still under watch. That's what I recommend as a business coach. Let him get to understand that yes, he's back from suspension, but he's not actively involved until you are certain as the owner of the business that conformity is ensured. Now, in that period of maybe 3 weeks or 1 month, and you notice that there are no significant changes, you can tell him to go back to suspension or terminate his employment. That's taking a tough decision. Why? Because we must be able to separate persons from our personality. We must be able to separate the entities of who we are and the relationship we have with our children or with our relatives or with our staff separately from the company. The company is self-existing and it is governed by rules and regulations. And if that company has to survive even after you, like we always advocate, then things must be followed strictly. That's my recommendation, and that's what taking tough decisions is like as an MD CEO. And so next time you have a very tough decisions to take, consider the multipliers effect and the ripple effect and all the effect and how it will affect your company. My name is Festus Odije-Rewele, and I would like to see you next week by the grace of God when we're shooting the next video. Please keep the dial hook on the CEO Masterclass, and we will do this again.